There we go. Gotta make sure everything is set up. Alright. Make sure this is the sound in the background. Yep. Should be good there. Okay. Make sure that is good. And I do want to actually make sure we have chat on here, I think. Let's see. Maybe we'll do chat up here. Yeah, it's kind of in the corner. Then make sure. And let's make sure this works. So that did not pick it up the way that I wanted to. Filters, let's see. Bottom. It's about 450. Okay, and let's. So we got that done. Okay, so that should be good there then. And technically I want, oh, cancel, remove. All right, that'll work. Okay. Okay, so let's get some of these quests done. Crispy spider meat. spores. We need spiders. See if I can activate. And there's so many people leveling out here. See, maybe we can catch some down here. Nope. That Red Bull ain't helping. One spider there. Oh. Hey, we got crispy spider meat. I don't need you guys yet. I'll save you. Hey, mistake. What are you up to? Sup? Oh, just working on my hunter. Just trying to get her to. I mean, I'm not in a rush to get to 60 because the Burning Crusade patch will, you know, just gonna add another 10 levels. Project Ascension? I have not. What is that, an MMO? The name almost sounds familiar. But definitely always keeping an eye out on new things to play, though. Especially MMOs. Paladin. I know you're. That's why I'm no longer Paladin. Everything's just an auto attack practically. There's a buzzard. What's the Project Ascension about? Or I guess what type of game is it, I guess, first of all. Classless WoW? Well, I mean, I was gonna say, does it like play like World of Warcraft? I need another buzzard. Nope. Oh. Stiff neck. see, what can you eat? I guess you do like the... And of course... So what are you guys all up to? I could actually probably put that on there as well. I will, let's see. I'm gonna put viewer counter. Boop. Okay. That is surprising. 5 viewers on Twitch. But, especially with World of Warcraft. Asmongold must not be streaming right now. So you can creep up to the top a little bit, right? You my #1 fan? What are you up to, Kyle? What's did you get off work? Are you at work? You just killing time or what? Man, I need to go back to Kalimdor, I think. There's like way too many people questing here. Like, that's what's crazy about this, like, how crazy Classic is. It's just, I mean, people are excited for, the Burning Crusade, but still, it's, even retail, like, I mean, I guess probably because all the sharding, right? Sharding. Alright, Kyle. We'll miss you, though. Oh! Oh, damn. Switch at that monkey. Run away from me. There we go. Get rid of the boar intestines, I guess. Give me the axe. Oof. Of course you can't. Let's use that first aid, I guess. My pet. It's like one thing that you have to like micromanage every little thing. Oh, it's a weird place for a vendor. Okay. I don't know if I should trust him. Just all a gnome hanging out in the middle of all these orcs. Alright, you need to eat some.
Daylight's burning.
Hopefully I get burned through these quests pretty quick. Wha-bam. You know what? But that's a part of Classic, though, is dying. One to 7, about 4 hours. It almost sounds like BDO in that sense, then. But yeah, Zelda. That's part of Classic for you. You have to die. That's how you progress, is by dying. Yeah, I said Project Ascension sounds familiar, so I just don't think I've ever looked into it. It's like you want to check out all these games, but there's literally no time to check them all out. It's like I'd actually like to get back into Guild Wars 2, but kind of married to Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft, and technically I'm about to lose my computer access for about a month and a half, not 2 months, so won't be really playing much of anything other than phone games and maybe my Switch. Being the Switch is at least portable, so I need a laptop. I almost feel like it's just, I mean this is kind of this is definitely a lower area for me. You poor lamb, right? Yeah, I mean, there was one time I did get annoyed, yes, at like dying so much, but you know, oof. But for the most part, you know, it's just part of the experience, right? You just gotta die. Get that one. No? Fine. What are you up to, Zelda, anyways? You still causing mischief? Let's feed you again. Let's try to burn through some of this meat. I don't have my PC. Yeah. I mean, technically, I won't lie and say that, you know, I've been, you know, well, I guess thanks to COVID, right? We've all been kind of playing a lot of games lately, so kind of being able to step away for a little bit is actually going to be kind of nice. Plus, like on Final Fantasy 14, for example, my scary gameplay. You watch my pixels? Oh boy. No, don't die. Oh. Alright, cool. Did you ever play World of Warcraft, Zelda? Don't you run away from me. Let's see, so Paul said you can make a hunter and you can also grab Blink and Curse of Exhaustion, Blast Wave, etc. Those are legendary enchants that are game changers. I'm waiting for AOC. Yeah, Ashes, you know, definitely. That's one thing once Missy gets back, or not back, but when she finally gets on, we're actually going to kind of talk about that tonight and just eat some watermelon. Just I don't know if you see that new video you know, well, I've been seeing actually a lot of videos. A lot of people, it seems like it's almost the time of, you know, I wouldn't call it negativity for Ashes of Creation, but it's just the video that we're going to talk about is the one where, you know, it's pretty much saying just don't jump on the hype train, right? You know, because people, which I mean, I've seen it, and that goes for any game, but everyone's placing Ashes of Creation as that, you know, the world changer, you know, the new beginning for MMOs, and it's just, you know, and when you set a game up that high without, because I mean, to be quite honest, I mean, you can put an MMO on paper, you know, make it sound like the greatest game. Yeah, I haven't bought my package yet, but right now, I don't know. I'm clocking Ashes at least 2.5 years away still, if not 3. But you know, prove me wrong. I definitely want someone to, you know, I want Steven and the team to prove me wrong on that. But there's just a lot of, I mean, yeah, think about it. Seasoned teams with hundreds of millions of dollars behind them still take, you know, many. Why is that guy just running away for? I mean, they take forever. I mean, look at New World. Has all the money in the world. But it's, you know, that one's still taking forever. And when it was supposed to come out, then it just, yeah. I mean, that's its own little story. Luckily, though, New World's actually looking pretty good. I guess they just had a major update. So am I going to play a better game? Well, technically, this is kind of like a surprise stream, to be quite honest. You know a better game we could actually play, Kyle? I have it actually. We talked about it yesterday. I can boot up Star Wars if you want. I think that'd be a good game to play. Some good storyline going on. And being that, you know, you don't want to have anything to do with, you know, with that, you know, you could at least, I guess, watch me play it, you know, for the most part. Coffee yogurt? Yeah, probably not. I mean, like, are you talking about, like, just coffee flavored? I mean, I'm not a coffee person, but you could probably, if you like coffee, and you, especially cold coffee, then I guess, yeah, sure. I think that would actually do pretty well. You can call. What am I getting, Phasmophobia? You know what? Like, so, I mean, by the time I get my computer back, I mean, we are going to be on the edge of either 9.1 for World of Warcraft and pretty damn close to Endwalker, I feel like. Or, you know, at least a couple months out, which is fine for me because I'll be coming back and catching up, so. But yeah, Kyle, I've heard Missy has been hiding from you guys because you guys keep wanting her to play it all the time. Just need one more axe. Come on. Yeah, she. Well, when Missy gets fixed on a game, which you could thank technically Zelda for that, because Zelda's the one that's been giving her all the all the mats practically to level up to, you know, 2 crafters at a time. I told her to do it. I just told her to do them all at the same time, but that's what I did. I think I did like 5 levels all the way across. I had like 2 or 3 already maxed out, but the rest of them I just did 5 levels every time, and then just used beast tribes. I was just patient with it. But yeah, I try to get her to go play some other stuff, but she says she is content with Final Fantasy right now. Excuse me. And BDO. So yeah, you're gonna have to tickle her her fancy some way. So technically she should be hopping in. Well, I guess I'm technically not in voice, am I? Or in streaming. I guess I could always pop in there, so Missy can bombard us when she's back. Okay. Come on, guys. Give me one more axe. Should have given her better tips. I told her beast tribes. Like, I mean, that's how I leveled all mine. I mean, have I forced leveled some of them before? Yeah. Well, that was expensive. So, I just took my time. I did it every like 5 levels practically, or I did 1 until I got it up 5, and then I, you know, did a couple of them, just pretty much until I unlock their actual class quest, you know. And that was kind of just what I did, and got them all up to 80. Shadow Pendant. But I heard you were boosting her, so you know. Oh, there we go. So I told her, if someone's boosting you, then go and take it. Grand Company turn-ins? Yeah. If you do those religiously every day. Yeah, I did those. Those are nice because those actually, you can, that's almost like guaranteed like a level, to be quite honest. No. Or close to, well, I mean, at first they're definitely like guaranteed like a level, but yeah, between those and then, yeah, because I remember when I was leveling them all up at the same time, I would turn them in. Grand Company, it'd be like, bam, level up, bam, level up, bam, level up for like each class, and you could just go buy those off the auction house for pretty, Rallying Cry of Dragon Slayer buff. What is this? Alright, here we go. Hey, Phoenix Fire, what's going on? I'm just going old school right now with some classic. I finally found the class I needed to play on here to actually get into classic. At first I was trying to do my paladin because that's what I've mained since Wrath, and well, these guys are actually a lot higher. But yeah, auto attacking the whole time wasn't that fun. I'd send a judgment out, and then it'd be auto attack, and then I would probably die. So yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I heard. I mean, well, Trial of Crusader, or not Trial. I always say Trial of Crusader for Burning Crusade for some reason. But for Burning Crusade, though, I know that's when they actually got like fixed or empowered. So, especially with the Blood Elves coming, which that's when I'll start my Paladin. But for right now, I'm trying to get my Hunter up there. She's just like a pure gatherer as well, so. But I forgot how all the little details you have to keep up. No? Never played a Hunter? Well, like today, like I was wondering like where's my, why is my, it's, I've learned or at least paid for Growl right here. This increases my aggro for my pet. Ooh, excuse me. I don't have lots of hours into WoW, so there's a few I haven't tried. If you play retail, I don't know. I'm a pet class person. I mean, so that's why when Ashes does come out, for example, like I'm definitely going to be all about the summoner. Same with Final Fantasy 14 as well. I am a summoner on there, but I don't know. It's just cool, because I might be questing by myself, but I have my little tiger there with me as well too. So. But I just find you just start. Which AOC guild? No. Marauder. I like being tanky. Marauder is fun. That'll become a warrior, and that's one thing that you will find if you've played, like World of Warcraft, for example. Or just even Guild Wars, all that stuff. Like, Final Fantasy isn't, it is like maybe 20% level progression based, while, but it is literally 80% storyline based, like progression. Because you could be level 80, which is max level right now in Final Fantasy 14, but if you don't. Man, these things don't want to drop anything. But if the story will definitely outlast your level by a lot. Like I would save all your side quests for your second alt job, because you can do everything in one character. And they've set it up that you could practically do everything. You get your first job all the way up to 80. Yeah. Are you on a brand new realm? Or like the one that had like the star or whatever on it? If you are, you're getting like a crap ton of boost as well on there. Play with the guild. Yep, here we go. Right away. And here we go, guys. Yeah, see, that's a part of classic right there. You actually die. And we walk back to your corpse. You know, so talking about Ash's creation, and we're gonna be talking about that later once, like I said, Missy gets on, because we were gonna do a video for YouTube about the last creative director's letter from Steven. And I'm pretty sure you've seen it, but especially because Asmongold, it's funny, the original actual video has like 77,000 views. Asmongold watches it, and then it gets almost 300,000 views on his video. In one day versus like 3 days, 3 days for the other thing. But anyways, but it's talking about like the hype train. Don't get on the hype train for Ashes of Creation, because with any game, it's not really a game until it's out, right? And even when it's out, to be quite honest, an MMO doesn't really hit its full stride until a couple expansions for the most part. I mean, look at World of Warcraft. I mean, Classic was decently, I guess, but then the Burning Crusade came out and it grew, but its biggest jump in consistency was Wrath of the Lich King. I mean, that's when I joined. I knew of WoW beforehand, but that's when I joined. And like I said, I think that was 2008. So it took about 4 years or so for like WoW to really hit its full stride. So, and that was a huge team. I mean, that was Blizzard. So, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, and I think that, like the guy wasn't trying to bash, and that's what me and Missy's been like talking about it too. It's just like, and that guy, even his video wasn't bashing Steve. I mean, Steven replied to it. It was like the first reply to the video. Was just, he was just saying, hey guys, like, this is the reality of this game. This is what they've already said and touted, but the realities of that actually working or happening or coming to the game, because I mean, even right now, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has been promised in Ashes that, it's just, I don't even know how they're going to. Well, yeah. And to be honest, and this is actually one thing, like I said, I'll bring it up tonight as well. People's been they are clamoring for the social side, right? Like the social side of MMOs, like that experience where social content is supported by the gameplay, not the gameplay is trying to force, but see, the back to basics, but you wanna know what's bad about that? Well, not bad. Blizzard's like, people want that, and it's like, well, technically Blizzard's already doing that with Classic. I mean, I'm kind of playing this almost as a research project as well. Like, I've done so many things so far in Classic that I haven't done in, let's see, well, 2008 is when Wrath came out. So, I mean, random people walking up to you saying how, like, you have a nice pet, and then that turns into, hey, have you heard about this ghost cat, and then, hey, like, do you need help with this quest? And it just kind of builds and builds and builds and builds. And, and then you're like, hey, I just added a friend on my friends list, So technically, which is, funny, but also kind of sad, if you technically want that experience again, then you could already get it with Classic. And I mean, I've seen so many people playing right now. I'm pretty sure the Burning Crusade is, you know, that coming out soon. It's probably within the next, I think probably next month. The video chat made for 15th, yeah, anniversary. See, and that's another thing too. And I brought this up to Missy. Is, I said I'm gonna be regurgitating this later. Is, you know, there are definitely people that want to go back to basics, but are there enough to really support a game? You know, like, you know, even if Ashes of Creation has 1,000 people that's really support it and keep playing it, I don't think that's enough to, like, they are touting a game. I mean, this, like, the size and scale of it. I mean, and I hope to, you know, to God that they pull it off. Like, but the size and scale of, like, their systems and how it's supposed to work and all this other stuff, it's just, you know, are they setting themselves up for failure? Like, their team is still growing. One. You know, and the team that is there, yes, they have experience, but all the games that they have experience in are like EverQuest, RuneScape, PlanetSide, games that are like way old. And technically, I mean, look, I mean, playing Classic, they finally brought it out for us, you know, for Blizzard, but you have to ask yourself, why has retail become what it, like why has retail become what it is now? You know, like the solo play. Exactly. The short attention spans. Exactly. You just got it right there. Like, when you know, and some people will come back, because I've heard that from people too, is, you know, if you only have 2 hours to play, then you shouldn't be playing an MMO. Like, I've heard that in another discussion. It's like, well, if you only have that much time to play, you shouldn't be playing MMOs, which I don't totally agree with that statement, but you know, but if it takes you an hour just to get a group, because that's, if you go to Classic, you know, and at first, yeah, everyone's going to be grouping up. You know, everyone's going to be, it's going to be popping, right? Like, but even in Classic right now, it's really popping. And I had to get an add-on called Puggle right here, that searches through the voice, the looking for group chat, that puts these together. Like, it's a pretty cool app. Now, this does go away with the Burning Crusade, because they have their own built-in thing in there, but it's like the dungeon finders, not the raid finders, even though technically the Ashes team needs to show us and explain their difference between dungeons and raids, because I almost feel like what they did show with the dragon was, it was a dungeon, but the farther you went down into it, then it became a raid. You know, like, is a raid defined in Ashes by the size, you know, how big the boss is? 8-man and 40. I think they are thinking about 40-man raids and 8-man. I think like 4 to 8-man dungeons. But the dungeons are going to be like open world dungeons, kind of in the way like BDO doesn't technically have dungeons, but there are sections of the world that are open. They're not instanced, but you could technically say that that's a dungeon. You know, and I feel like that's what Ashes is going to be, is you're going to have these dungeons and caves and castles and whatever, and there's no instance there unless it's story based. And that's another thing too, is everything that we've been told so far is just, it almost feels like they're not either solid on their facts yet, like they haven't made their mind up, but it's like they have and then they haven't, you know. And because of this is why I think we're still so far out, because, you know, we haven't heard anything more about like the node system, and that guy in his video brought it up, which is their biggest asset practically of that game, since I think what 4 years ago or something like that. We haven't had any new like lore videos from them. We haven't any new lore drops from them. Like, there's no new dungeon information, not even names of dungeons. We're missing 4 classes still. like there's just so much missing, and it's just, and I'm not saying that that's like, you know, 7 years, up to 7 years practically is what, like a development cycle for an MMO. Well, I think it wasn't the fact, it was just, it's just one of those things where, and I think I was talking with Vertec, and Chibi Brie on there is kind of playing devil's advocate, though, is nodes, it would be cool to actually see them. I think there was one little video where they show it working once, and it was the thing just just updated. Like, it went from, I think, went to like a village to a town, I think is what they were showing. But it was just instant, and then that's practically like, oh, this is what it does. Yeah, just like poof. It's just, to me, it'd be cool, like, if it was like, hey, you're, like, I don't know, just things are built, and I know, like, the flare stuff comes in later, right? So I think, there's just so much, like, the classes, right? Like, we're missing 4 of them, and I know, and they're finally just going, like, it almost feels like we've been talking about the mage, and maybe the warrior, seems like forever now. And that's the thing about open development, right? You could shoot yourself in the foot. And I think, this game practically exploded once Lazy Peon kind of did its first video. Then Asmongold just exploded even more. I was watching that day practically. It's before alpha, so I'm not that worried. Yeah, and that's the thing, is it's just they're testing all these things right now. I mean, systems and stuff, but you're not even testing it with with all the tools. And I could, like I said, I'm not in alpha 1, so I mean, I can't say that somehow maybe Summoner is not already in there, or Bard's not already in there. But I mean, just there's no artwork. Like, there's so much, and maybe and I think that's the thing, right? Is maybe the expectations that we're expecting artwork for Summoner, artwork for Bard, at least something to give us like a taste. Zone have multiplayer introduced. Epoch. That sounds familiar. Not in the game. Yeah, I mean, even just simplistic stuff of even just artwork and stuff like that, which is only kind of what they've been, not only what they've been showing, but for the most part, it's like, this is a bush, here's some trees. It's like where's Summoner, where's Bard? Like, that's one of the funny things about our videos, is you could tell what classes people are like really going after. Because, which I think Ranger was one of them, Bard and Summoner, did a video on it last week, highly recommended. Okay. I know there's actually a couple of things coming down the road, and that's another thing too for Ashes is, you know, by the time it finally comes out, because I like reading comments, right, like on Reddit and everything like that, and they're talking about how, you know, this game's probably going to be, you know, like I said, I think 3 years is kind of probably the right number. Prove me wrong though. It'd be cool to have it out sooner than that. But like, Missy's like, I'm gonna be dead by the time it comes out. Oh crap. Gotta kill these two quick. The hell? Run away. Alright, there we go. At least they don't have crazy range. Yeah, I even got I don't know if you've heard of, I don't know if you like kind of the Japanese MMOs, Korean MMO, like just even just the visual style of it. But there was, I got an email about Hyperion. That was like another MMO that's, I think it came out, excuse me, I think it came out and maybe they pulled it back and had to rework it or whatever, but the MMO Byte, the only Asian games I play, yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's, as a kid. Yeah, definitely. I still need to actually keep playing Final Fantasy 2, so I can keep going forward with that. Those are a lot of games right there. Hunch of meat. Look at Kyle gifting subs. That actually. Yeah, it should be actually popping up. I wonder why it's not popping up. Our gifted subs not up to 11 now. Well, there you go. Are all my... Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay. Alright, I was just testing that out. Okay. This area is kind of mean. I don't know why those hit so far. What the hell you keep coming from? Thing's annoying. Pendant there. 5 more. 6 more or 4 more. They learn to count. Yeah, I mean, and I think, you know, I think it also depends, right? We also don't know. You got sidetracked somehow. Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, I think with that is, excuse me. Yeah, Tolnar. Yeah. Well, races too. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Actually, you just brought that up too. We've only seen maybe some. We've seen humans, a little bit of elves, but we haven't. But like dwarves, but they're not. I mean, unless they're holding them back. But you know, if you look at their characters that they are playing in alpha, they're literally just like copy and paste. Like their new female model character of the Valinar. No, was it the Valinar? Yeah, but their new like female model. Literally, if you look at like what Steven and the other one, they just copied and paste. Like they didn't even customize their own character. You know, like I said, I would almost think you would, you know, be trying to test that system out. Like you would want people to, because if you have pre-customized characters, I don't know. It's just, I think we're just I just think they're so far. I won't say so far behind because I don't think they've ever. I just think they just need to start being realistic with their base on their timeline. Like truly realistic, because, and I think that's why that video came out about the hype thing, because if you, yeah, I remember seeing that video on that, and that guy that made that video got, like, it was bad. That guy got torn, I think kicked out practically, like the Discord. But yeah, he pretty much called him out. Like, that was actually when it was like, is this a scam? Because they're like, because even Apocalypse, the story behind how that came out as an alpha, but yet it had a fully functional cosmetic shop, and the cosmetic shop that they showed was literally, they just took the color wheel and was like, here's an axe, and then it was like, it's blue, it's green, it's red, you know, and you were paying like $25 for this damn thing, right? So yeah, their timing has been way off, and they're a smaller studio, right? You do have some people that have experience, but I mean, they're hiring like crazy still, you know. And you know, not everyone that's going to apply is going to be, you know, a good person. So yeah, the cosmetics. I said I haven't bought my stuff yet. Oh, run away. Run, dwarf, run. You saved me. Yeah, supposedly Alpha 1 as well. Supposedly they're going to be opening up the cells again for him. It's going to be $500. Yeah, I don't even... Yeah, I don't know. Like, let's just put it this way. Missy's already talking about, like, the more and more that, you know, we just kind of see and we hear from even other people. She's she was kind of like, say the other day, she's like, can I get a refund? But of course I don't think you can, so what's the sales? Sales. What do you I guess what's the sales? I'm not for sure, but you're asking John Deere. Oh, for the 500? Well, I don't think it's up there yet. But that's what I think Steven was kind of like talking about, was that if they were to bring out Alpha 1 cells again, which I think they are going to be, yeah, about the Ashes of Creation cell, like Alpha 1 cells. So, yeah, so like right now you could buy for $375 Alpha 2 access, all the betas, you know, and all the full cosmetics that they're offering within their package. But they're talking about bringing out Alpha 1 cells at $500, which you would get Alpha 1 access, you know, Alpha 2 access, all the betas, and then you know, so you pretty much would get everything for $500. Versus, I think some people actually paid $1,000 to get into Alpha 1. I could be wrong on that number. I need... Yeah, I think, yeah, I've heard some people drop some crazy cash on this game already, and I'm like, oof. Actually, I don't know, we can't even call it a game. It's just an idea until we actually really start seeing stuff. That's why I'm kind of like, unless they come out with a set that I just cannot live without. You know, I don't know if I will, you know, because there is that like great debate right now, right, of you know, pre-ordering games. Yeah, well, from what I get from the people that I know that are in Alpha 1, like we have a crap ton in the future guild that we're gonna be in for them, is it's not even playing, it's just like, okay everybody, we're meeting together, please log into the game and meet at point A, and you're probably like, okay everybody press, you know, action buttons, you know, it's not even playing the game for right now, and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. They're like, oh, I want to play the game right now, and it's like, you're not playing the game in Alpha 1, probably not even in Alpha 2, but Alpha 1 right now is just purely like, yeah, we're testing the systems. You know, like we're testing that our shit can handle itself, and it didn't, and that's why they had to postpone. Like I haven't even I asked, and I do ask them off and on about the content creators, like application or whatever. At 5,000 bears, yeah. That's like, hey, let's spawn this, and that's another thing too. Like, they're testing all this stuff, but there's more to the game than their systems. But they also have a lot of systems in the game, right? They're almost kind of worse in a way than Blizzard, right? With their retail systems upon systems upon systems upon systems, and this system reflects upon this system, and this system does this system. But like for instance, like I would love to see. Like for me, if I was working for them as a promotional aspect of the game, like you guys the engineers are working on the systems, right? We got that. We're working on that. Like, okay, now we need to start fluffing this game. I guess I'm gonna use the right term, fluffing. With like breaking down lore, showing us artwork or even videos of new dungeons that they've thought about. I think I've seen the same damn castle like dungeon 50 times already. They're like, hey, let's go down here. It's the same castle, it's the same dungeon, it's the same thing. And maybe I'm expecting too much of such a small team, and maybe that's the whole point, right? I feel like they should be giving us a little bit more on lore. I think like maybe making like a deal with an author to write a story for, maybe like the intro story into the game's lore, so that would bring in people to be more interested in the lore of the game. We haven't even had I think I pulled it up. We haven't actually had a. They had. Well, that's the thing. Steven can spout the lore like crazy, but I don't think he's an author. And I think a lot of the times, someone showed a video. It was like a little snippet of Steven starts talking, but the game director next to him, and in the developer updates, he's like you could see his eyes widening, going like, is either. Some people are like, oh, he's leaking something that he's not supposed to. To me, his face was like, dude, you're over-promising things. It might sound cool, but we don't got the team to accomplish what you're talking about. 24-hour stream, probably, yeah. But yeah, the Alpha Zero Island, yeah, so that's another thing too. The Bacon, I think he was like the world designer guy or something like that. I can't remember exactly who he was. He was like, they keep fixing Alpha 1 Island, Alpha 1 Island, Alpha 1 Island, and I'm like, where's this world you guys been touting, like what's like. You're talking about like 18 different biomes. It's like I've only seen beach. We haven't even seen the Polynesian dwarves, Like, I mean, we haven't even seen like that stuff yet. Like they're just, I don't know. Keep going in circles. I think I said 3 years at best, probably, that until we see this game out. A lot of beach so far, yeah. A lot of beach and water. That's all we've seen is beach and water. Oh, and their rock. Their big giant arc rock that they were proud about. Like, they're so proud about these graphical things, and I'm just like, man, like look at WoW, for example. WoW doesn't look the best compared to like BDO, for example. But it has a lot more systems and not. I mean, look at Classic. I mean, people are going crazy on Classic. So yeah, it looks great. And I've actually heard some things. And I wonder if they've even ran into this. Probably have. But supposedly Unreal Engine 4 isn't actually like the best for MMOs and like network architecture for some reason. So I'm not for sure if they are running into those issues as well. And I think the issues with it is that it's not as stable. It's not as stable as like and I think that's why like other people, they don't use that. So I don't know. Like I said, I really do not know. And I think that's kind of the problem, is a lot of people don't just know anything. We keep getting shown, like, I think there's another developer update next week. Let's see how many more bushes they show us, or beach fighting, or the water. So, or the rocks. So, and I almost feel like, in some sense, I mean, I don't think they're that far to be like, hey, we need to probably stop. You know, it's like, if you're doing open development, which is what they're saying that they're doing, right? It's like, but I feel like if it's open development, and this is what you truly have to offer, then, which is fine, but let us know your realistic expectations. You know, you've done pretty bad about dates back in the day. Like you said, the 2019 thing you brought up. You know, like, what happened? I thought this thing was fully funded. You know, if this thing's fully funded and you guys are working on it, but you guys are hiring like crazy, you know, like, where are we really? You know, where are we really at with this game? You know? So, but yeah, so we'll definitely see. But I tell you what, when it finally comes out, I mean, will people play it? Yes. Will it be some long-lasting MMO? To be seen. You know, because I mean, Final Fantasy XIV's not going anywhere. And to be honest, it could just end up being a niche game. You know, because the way they're talking about their PvP, I mean, they're calling it PvX, so PV, you know, player versus the world practically. But I know some people will definitely be, you know, against just constantly, you know, they'll be constantly, like Missy, for example, like if she goes and she's gathering all this stuff and she could just be ganked, you know, in the world when she doesn't want to be, like, that's just, you know. And I've heard some people say, well, they've already said this game's not going to be for everybody. It's like, well, you better make it for almost everybody. I say almost. You don't want to cater and change the mission of the game, right? But if you don't cater to the casuals, for example, 90%, if not more, of these games these days is of casual players. And a casual player, if they're out there and they're having fun and they're collecting and they're working on something and then they get killed, yes, there is a corruption system in the game that should help police that. No, the casual friendly thing, no, not at all. And the thing is somebody already kind of called them out on Reddit. Like I said, I love reading the comments, right? And actually, it wasn't Reddit, it was Twitter. somebody posted from OTK, one of Asmongold's like groupies, that that they canceled the Lord of the Rings Online, and that so I guess the League of Legends MMO that's coming out, by Tryon, which I mean that in itself right there, I mean that's even if you don't play League of Legends, and a League of Legends MMO actually to me sounds pretty damn cool, to be quite honest. But anyways, but someone responded going like, "Your only hope," and then Ash's is AOC's Twitter. They responded going like, "What are we, chopped liver?" And then I saw people responding to them going like, "Your game's going to be a PvP game. So it's going to like your game's going to be a niche game. Like people are going to play it and they're going to leave. Cuz either one, they've had their fill of it and they're pissed off with people just ganking them. And I think definitely that philosophy will need to change. Like Black Desert Online, for example, you can of course press the thing where you enable the point where you can attack players, right? But you can only attack players in combat zones. And I know that's like the risk versus reward, but the thing is casual players aren't, they're not going to want to deal with that. Not in an MMO. That's why, as I've said before, is look at retail WoW. Yeah, casuals don't want risk. Well, people these days don't want risk. It's a fast food society, right? It's give me it now. I want instant gratification. Give me my Big Mac.
Reward only.
Exactly. And trying to. Damn, Missy got. She hopped in and ruined my thought process.
Hijacked stream.
What is just me and Phoenix was talking about, what you and me have been talking about for a while, is just casuals aren't going to want like PvP crap in Ashes. And if they stick that...
Hi, Phoenix.
And if they stick with that, they're going to, majority people... Because, I mean, the game has to survive with a player population. Because even their game is being designed upon social interaction and player population. If you don't have population, yes, it can adjust itself down, but, you don't got money flowing in, that game going to end. As quickly as it tried to start, because... Yeah. So... Yeah, so like I said, we'll definitely see in like 3 to 4 years. But even then, even once it's out, it's going to take it at least like a couple of years to... yeah, competitive PvP, yeah, I think that'll be... being able to opt in. I opt in, opt out. Ah, yes, WoW, yeah, there you go. So yeah, like me and Missy were talking about is, I mean, if you look at what WoW started off as the social, what do you call it? Like classic. Like you had to be social to play the game. Oh, I can't carry any more of those. I can't carry any more of those. Oh.
What'd you do, Brad?
Oh, it was just another thing I got from... I couldn't carry anymore, the quest item. I still need one more pendant. But yeah, so if you look at... The reason why retail WoW is the way it is because they've had to change due to the tide of the people playing their game. The people that started playing World of Warcraft are now in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like, like
Gamer grandma.
Yeah. But the younger generation does not want, as you say, risk. They want reward. And some people might want something tough, challenging content, but then after a while they're like, okay, I'm done with that. But I'm just saying, if the social interaction concept was brand new back in the day, 2004, you had Facebook, you had MySpace, you had MSN Messenger, you had forums. The thing is, though, but you're also trying to pull in newer players, right? And I think there's actually been a study, and like I said, one of those videos, they actually talk about how a lot more people are actually flocking to MMOs in a general sense. People that wouldn't have never played MMOs before are now playing them because, you just have so many now. You have World of Warcraft, you have Final Fantasy XIV, you have Elder Scrolls, you have Guild Wars 2, you have Star Wars: The Old Republic, you have, let's see, what other ones have we got, Missy? You have New World coming out, you got, actually, New World technically is, they're changing that for the good. It might turn out to be a good game.
Well, eventually, maybe.
Well, they just dropped a huge patch. It changed a lot. They actually have a new weapon. It's called the Ice Gauntlet. And another thing too, bonus for New World, because they canceled Lord of the Rings, that whole team is now working on New World. So everything is going to New World with the power of Amazon behind it. So we've
not happy about that, by the way.
No, I wasn't either. But I don't know if you heard of it. It was reason because it was a Chinese company that bought it, and they were having to put, for them to continue to work with it, they would have to implement China's restrictions or whatever. Yeah. So we started 14 that had some fun and branched out. Oh yeah, and then I guess technically it's not an MMO, but Genshin Impact. It was supposed to be an MMO.
I can't get into it. I've tried.
Well, it's just because it'd be cool if you could see, if you. Could
I don't want to play 4 characters at once. That's my main thing. It's I want a character. I want to develop my character. I don't want to have to keep switching around to playing other characters. It's switching in between fights to different characters. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I could see where that would come from.
I just want to be Lisa.
That you do. But yeah, the whole Lord of the Rings thing, that was pretty.
It's a big letdown.
Yeah, it was. Run away, Pearl, run away.
Don't you get Pearl injured?
She dies a lot, but we all do in Classic. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go away. Shoot. Be gone with you. Okay.
Shoot. And that's all there'll be of that, so we don't get muted.
Well, the Lord of the Rings thing, that's what, I don't, the whole BS behind it, yes, that sucks. And I really hope Amazon just figures it out and gets it back on, because, cancel it now, yes. That's more than fine, right? You had a problem with it, but I would love to still see in the Lord of the Rings Online, because there's so much lore there. There's so much of a world there. I could already think of an expansion where you go to.
You're already moved on to the expansion.
Yeah, I've already went on to the expansion. To.
I love no game.
Yeah, where Gondor, like the name and the people of Gondor that they came from was like a mighty human island nation, but it was actually sunk and destroyed by I think Morgoth, because he actually feared them, and even Sauron feared them as well, and I think that's why they destroyed them, and that's where the remnants of Gondor and Minas Tirith and just um,
I want some backstory of the elves, and I want the dwarves' backstory.
Oh man, the dwarves' backstory. You need to listen to the Song of Durin. On it's on YouTube. I'll just send it to you, Missy. But the Song of Durin. Oh, I love singing it, and the people that sing it sing with like all different voices, right?
Yeah, I think I've heard it.
Probably. I mean, it's like, when Durin wrote, the world was like practically new. No streams or stone was, had a name. Like it was just, you just feel the history, the story behind it, and it's just like, ooh, And I'm just like,
Beginning of time.
And talks about like Moria and like the Durin folk and just how they were, like, I mean, I would love to see Moria in all of its glory. Like, it would just, yeah. Like, it still needs to happen, and I think it will happen. They just now have to, okay, we're done with you guys. Let it cool off for a little bit. Let's get New World out there, and then we'll start building, But then we'll get back to Lord of the Rings.
China's just being like a petulant child with us right now.
Well, in any games, they have to have back doors, and it's stupid. Because they have to make sure that they can keep an eye on their people that are playing the game. China's being China. Exactly.
Ooh, riding an ent. That would be so cool.
Right?
Tiny little person way up at the top.
Yeah, imagine you have like, like you would have dwarves, but then you could even have hobbit races. And then you have your elves, of course. And then your men. And then I think it'd be cool. Okay, faction based. Light versus good, but the dark would be like you could play like an Urukai. That would be kind of like equivalent to, like a human. And then you would have like orcs. That would be like equivalent to dwarves. And then you could have, I think it'd be kind of even cool. You could probably think about maybe even making a Nazgul character. Like you would be a human that has been, yeah. From them throwing some restrictions on New World as a result of this. Thing is, if this is happening, what is stopping them from throwing some? I think it was just because that Tencent company, because wasn't there some like shady business with them? It wasn't even the restrictions. It was they were doing something shady, like almost morally wrong. I can't remember. I can't completely recall it. Were they doing trafficking or something like that, or like they were? I thought they were doing something, yeah, like that. But I thought they were actually. It was because they did something.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hmm.
Your character's moving inside its window there.
What do you mean?
Like your little window with Liliana there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Z Pearl. I got my same add-ons practically in Classic that I have in Retail. Because I've always...
I never had that add-on.
Yeah, it's called Z Pearl. It's this thing right here. So you can set up like your little things, make them look cool. Because even my pet moves too. Pearl looks like a little animated.
Oh, I wanted that.
Oh yeah. Like.
And no, that doesn't mean I'm going to come back and play.
Well, I wasn't even asking you.
Why not? You ask me all the time.
Well, I mean, you're crafting, you know, you got Stardew Valley. Kyle and Boompa are trying to, like, get you to, you
Play
know.
tonight.
Yeah, well, just play, period. Well, Kyle's already playing it.
I know, I saw him when I was messaging him.
I just, you know, as to be quite honest, and I think this is like the contradiction, right? This is what's funny is as tough as Classic is, so it's tough but not tough, right? It's like, what's the pain in the ass? You know, we'll say it's a pain in the ass. You know, a lot of managing little things. Like for example, Missy, if you didn't know this, so if you start a hunter, so you have to, of course, you have your hunter's trainer, right, and then your pet trainer. But then, if you go here, you have to actually, and I learned this today, you have to go to your spell book, it says Beast Training. You click on this some bit, and you actually, so you've learned all these, but then you have to come in here and you have training points. And these training points are earned by using that pet, right? So you just slowly get these up, and then over time you have to take those pet training that you bought from the pet trainer, you have to come back in here, and then you actually have to train your pet. So I guess in the way they're thinking about it is you're taught how to train your pet something, but then you actually have to train your pet. Yeah. Because I was going forever without Growl, and I'm just like, man, this is annoying. So, but with all that crap, though, like, past all that stuff, like, I find Classic to be very relaxing to play. And that's kind of where I'm at with gaming right now. I don't want to touch Final Fantasy XIV because I'm bummed out that I can't play Part 2. Yes, that I subscribed for 2 months. I mean, I guess. But I got past the story, and that's kind of where I left it. Because I am 5 weeks away. Final Fantasy XIV, the free trial? Well, I mean, that's a game in itself, man. Yeah, well, so this is the thing, though. Final Fantasy XIV is story progression based. Your level means crap. So you can get to 60 all you want. You'll be 60 before you're like, I don't know, probably by the, I don't know if you'll probably be like maybe 55 by the time you get to Heaven's Sword. And then you'll be 60, and then you'll still have all of Heaven's Sword to go through, and then all the post patches and all that story. Like, they are giving you like 2 games for free in that trial. You get a Realm Reborn, and then you also get, what do I need to get up here? Fangor's Paw. But yeah, it's... No, don't buy it until you've completed everything. Now I will say this. I mean, if you love deep story, who do you think you are, little dude? That's just whacking on my pet. Who do you think you are? Um, 14, Missy. What do you think? Do you think it's a waste of money unless you play it hard?
What, for Final Fantasy XIV?
Yes.
What? A waste of money? It is never a waste of money.
I will
I
say.
love Final Fantasy 14.
So Phoenix, let me ask you this. I'll ask you this straight up. Do you love deep lore, like good story, good deep story? Like, I mean, is that your, you know, yeah, for me, it goes lore, music,
Music.
graphics, gameplay. Okay. Now, from what you've played, and I will say this, do not judge 14 by 2.0 story. Not saying that it's terrible or bad in any sense, but do not judge 14. Do not make your decision until you get into Heavensward and you've played Heavensward, because Heavensward technically was like the Wrath of the Lich King almost for 14. The story in Heavensward, it was, ask Missy. Like, I introduced her to 14 about 2 years ago, I think now. It took her about 6 months to get all the way caught up, and that was just Stormblood.
And I played a lot. But the story's so engaging and engrossing, and I can't tell you how many tears I've shed.
Yeah, and also,
compared to any other game I've ever played.
Yeah. And also, Ifrit and the Titans and all that stuff. Like, if you're a good player, the dungeons and all that stuff are going to seem very mediocre to you, right? Especially, like, the primal fights. Especially the earlier ones. That Red Bull didn't do shit tonight. What do you call it?
Yawning.
Right? I've been yawning a little off and on, but get to the later fights, and then if you really want to test your mettle, Final Fantasy XIV probably has the most unique and aggressive fights of any game that you'll probably find for like quite some time. And I mean in the sense that if you don't do a certain mechanic exactly the right way, then you could practically wipe the raid. But I will say this, don't play 14 for the mechanics or the content. And I say this not saying the content's bad. Play it for the story, for anything. And Missy would say the story and dresses. Pretty dresses.
Well, I am a girl who loves her dresses.
Oh, the lore behind on Ifrit? Yeah. And see, and that's the thing, right? It's just the writers for 14 are pretty awesome. So is he in there? I don't see him in there. But if you want some fights and music, oh Lord, music. If you want music and the fights to make your hair on your arms raise and make you just get the sweaty palms and you're just like really into it, heart's racing, 14 will do that to you. So it's definitely worth. Lieutenant Fangor. Ouch. do. Oh, there's a Lieutenant Fangor. He was right there. Diablos? Yes. He is in one of the 24-man raids in Heavensward. So in the free trial, you will be able to play it. And actually, you are first introduced to Diablos in a dungeon. Yeah, any fandom, anything of Final Fantasy, 14 tries to hit that mark. Ooh. Alright, there's a bunch of people over here just like attacking shit. Here we go. Whee. Alright, hopefully this...
Don't mind me, I'm just doing my Beast Tribe dailies.
You do it up. Carbuncle? Well, technically your Carbuncle is Summoner. Oh, Carbuncle. Is that the cat?
No, that's your little summoner pet.
Well, the Summoner pet, yes. Carbuncle. You said from Final Fantasy VIII, right? Let's see here. Oh yeah, your Carbuncles? Yeah. Yeah, if you play... Oh, yeah. There's actually a red, a blue, and a yellow Carbuncle. And you could even get them as mounts in-game and cosmetics, like a whole Carbuncle set, like an outfit, if you wanted as well. But yeah, the beginning Arcanist's pet is Carbuncles. And later on, your summoner gets to summon, they're called little icon things, of Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan. But you can use Aggie Glamour to glam them back to Carbuncles if you really wanted to. Man, it's going to town over there. I need more bag space.
I just love Final Fantasy 14. Hands down, best music.
Hans down.
Having specific music. Hans.
Hans down. Alright, I think I'm in a little safe area. Alright. So listen to a couple songs from that. Yeah. Well, if you get into 14, you're going to be listening to a lot more songs. Alright. I'm going to leave you into Missy's capable hands. I'm going to step away for a second. Grab me something to drink, get the blood flowing, wake up a little bit. I mean, it's almost 2 a.m. here. But I will be back.
Okay, Arnold.
Arnold. Yeah, I'll be back.
Bye, Brad. You're phasing away. I hope his character doesn't get attacked. Honestly, Phoenix, I would have to Google that. Let me see. Oh, I'm going to Google it right now. I am listening now.
Alright, in a beak.
Welcome back.
Alright. See if I can get some of these turned in. But yeah, Missive Classic is I see more people playing Classic than I did when we were starting Shadowlands. Like questing, like out in the area. It just, I mean, a lot of it's, of course, I don't think there's actually sharding, layering in Classic, but yeah, still, it's crazy. I'm just like, damn. Like, let's just put it this way. When I killed a Murloc, that same Murloc respawned, like, right after I killed it. Because there were so many people killing Murlocs. Like, it was just crazy. But I also think it's because the Burning Crusade comes out, we're thinking, at the end of May, practically. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm like just getting, I'm getting trapped in this song, Phoenix. Yeah, I totally remember that song. And there are some really, really epic songs in 14 too. Songs that every time you hear them, you're just gonna get that same feeling over again. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
So Phoenix, I don't know if you like soft, kind of like crazy, like, I don't even know how to define the song. Look up the Warrens, or just put Snow Cloak theme. Final Fantasy 14. Like,
Well, that's kind of instrumental though.
yeah.
I'm thinking the other one Phoenix might really like. Dragon Song.
Yeah, you like Dragon Song. Answers is really good too.
Answers is good. And Dragon Song. Check those out.
And Shadowbringers song.
Yes.
That one actually has some pretty crazy deep, like story stuff in it. Inventory is full. Your face is full. Oh yeah, so we watched the new Mortal Kombat today, because it just dropped today. Freaking awesome movie. And it needs to do well because they're already talking about if it does well, they have four movies planned. It was just, even Erin was like, oh yeah, she was really liking it too. Who said you can heal me, you priest? You can't touch me. Lay your hands on me, how could you? Alright, and nope. Gotta get more spiders. But yeah, that Warrens though. Like, and that's a heaven. No, that's actually before you get into Heaven's Sword. That's like a 2.x. Did I get them all? Did I get them all? I got them all. Yeah, I got them all. Yeah, it's a 2.x dungeon right before you get to Shiva. But that Warrens though, it makes you feel cold. Like if it was hot as balls in your room during the summer and you start playing that song, it just gets cold.
But if you play the game, then it has ever so much more meaning to it.
Yep.
I don't think you'd be disappointed, Phoenix.
Well, I think you say you got to. Let's put it this way: you have a little bit of everybody. And there's even stuff in Shadowbringers, which is just raid stuff. But yeah, all I'm gonna say is, if you like Final Fantasy, which you do, you just need to pay the $60. Well, do your free trial, pay $60, and that's the complete edition, so you get everything, right? And just go to town.
King's honor, friend. Be careful. Well met. Light bless you.
Light bless you.
You need something? Safe travel.
Are you only playing that much just because don't have time to play, or just you're not really getting into it, or just other games? That's kind of my problem, is just other games. But I will set aside time to do stuff for Final Fantasy though.
Need help? Have a good one.
See? And you know what? Exactly what you just said. If you don't got time to play Final Fantasy, for example, then, and I'm in the same boat, and I know Missy is too. How are we ever going to truly play Ashes of Creation? If they're talking about how hard it's going to be.
King's honor.
He's being a Debbie Downer. But, you know. I mean, that's just... Oh, I plan on no lifing ashes.
Olin.
I need... Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I just don't want it consuming my life entirely. That's the only worry I have with it.
Light bless you.
Remember, you can only choose either gathering or crafting now. So you have to have alts. Well, I mean, as far as what we learned was, they let you intro quest into them to, you know, to like taste them, but you will have to choose, you know, one of the three. Currently, is what I thought, because as far as that goes. And even Steven said as well, according to the wiki, you won't even be able to fully master every aspect of that said like profession either. Like, I think if you're a crafter, I don't think you can do all the crafting professions. Well, yes. So I think in that sense, though, yeah, you can level like everything up short of mastery as far as like within the block of gathering, within the block of crafting, and within the block of processing. But yeah, you would only be able to master one of those things within those blocks. Like I from what we've looked at and read is you will only be able to actually choose one of those three, and then you would follow that path. At first, I'll let you taste test all three of them to decide what you want to do. But I mean, in the end, I mean that just means alts, right? Siege Weapon Builder, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. See, they have so much to the game, and so little shown. Like sieges, like I don't see how I don't make more money than everyone. Well, it just depends on siege weapons, how much they go for. I know Missy said she was going to do crafting, probably tailoring or something.
So nobody's griefing me.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about that earlier, that, yeah, they need to fix that aspect of it, because if they don't fix that aspect of it, then... Holy crap, you see this, Missy? Like, have you ever seen it this busy?
Wow. That's crazy time.
right? And you want to see some old school shit here? They blocked it off, but so you know the area, right? This is this little square.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at this. Normally you would go into the auction house right here, right? Nope.
Oh, no, it's the old auction house you use now, right?
Well, it's right
Right
here.
around the corner. Yeah.
Yep.
You can still go in there.
Well, yeah, you're in the same building, but they flipped it upside down.
Yeah.
Or, backwards, but yeah, it's pretty. It was like, man, I haven't stood. I was like last night when I first got here. I was like, man, I haven't stood inside this auction house in a long time. It's been
You're like a kid with a new
moons.
toy.
Shh. It's like no. I'm a kid. I'm an adult that found their favorite toy. That's been in like the closet or like the attic.
Attic.
See, Phoenix, but
Because
that's wrong though, because if you were Horde, you should have been standing here killing everybody. I remember the Horde would come in here and wipe out just to grief the Alliance on Lightbringer. And just like, they would take out all of our auction house people, and it's just like, really? It's level 12, I don't need to be going that high with it. Don't need to be going that high, bro. Okay. Follower of the Church of Thrall. Yeah, Thrall's actually looking like he might get some little beefier in Shadowlands coming up in 9.1. Actually, I should use those to level up my first aid. They're all still alive practically, minus Varian. Varian got blown up. He was like, pew. Well, technically, I think it's actually pretty lopsided now though, because Sylvanas did burn down the whole Teldrassil and killed a bunch of elven people. Well, there is some stuff about 9.1 about an old war chief coming back in some form or matter. I don't know that much about it, but yeah. Holy buckets. Let's see. Yeah, Vol'jin was a pretty good war chief, and then they just killed him. Well, Vol'jin, period, just as a character was pretty cool. You want to know an interesting lore fact about trolls? You might already know this. But trolls were the original inhabitants of Azeroth, and it was the power, and it was the power of the Sunwell, or not Sunwell, Oh, I guess it was kind of the same way. They all kind of spawned from the same thing. And not the night well. What was it called? Try to think of the damn. Not Moonwell, not Sunwell. It was a well. But anyways, so pretty much night elves are just beautified trolls because of the magic of. I'm gonna have to Google this because it's driving me nuts. Ah, Well of Eternity. Aha, aha, aha. Yes, I found it out. So it was the Well of Eternity that was the original one. But yes, all wells, right? Yeah, so Sunwell came from, like, they all kind of, that was like, and that's where the big maelstrom practically is, where the well of Eternity used to be. But yeah, so it was the immense power of that converted the trolls that lived by it to become beautiful highborn elves. Yeah, the Sunwell was, which we'll see in TBC. Yeah, that was the one that was the Blood Elves had, and yeah, Kel'Thas, like, they started to use to corrupt it to pretty much kill Jaden, I think, in at that point in time. That's the Sunwell raid. But yeah. Let me see here. What else can I sell? What else can I sell? I think that'll do it for now. Okay. Yep, Kildren was back then.
What are you looking for?
What are you looking for? Who are you looking for? So I'm almost level 25. I want to see, maybe there's stuff I can buy. Man, there are so many people here. It's like more populated than retail, or at least Lightbringer.
Well, yeah, Lightbringer's Lightbringer.
Didn't used to be. It did not used to be.
Nope.
Ooh. So level 24, which is what I'm already at. What's the jump? Hold on. Okay, that jump's crap. What about guns? Nope. Daggers. Level 25. Okay, what about armor? Neck piece. Level 25. Those are expensive. $381. Damn. At 381. Damn. Okay. Leather. When do I get my headpiece? When do I get my first headpiece? Let's take away the level here. Level 26. Could practically get. So I'm almost there. Looks like 28 will be the first time I get a wear.
my god, I want a Moogle so bad.
Do you?
Yeah.
So I get new shoulders. Alright. Whoa. You see this, Missy? People actually
No one.
chilling out, talking. That jump felt weird, yes. Wow. Look, there's people talking. Alright. Alright, Phoenix.
Where even a being is.
Alright. Alright, so Warglaves, Pyro, Scoop, yeah. No, sounds about right there. But yeah, Phoenix, thanks for hanging out with me, talking with me, Kyle and all that stuff. Who, what now? It just, people are just talking, you know? Like, you haven't seen this in World of Warcraft in forever. But yeah, Phoenix, yeah, thanks for hanging out, you know, chatting. Like I said, I know Kyle and Demi and all of them ran away early on. But yeah, I think going to head out. It's about 2:20 here anyways. So, so yeah, I'll definitely be back with either this or, I guess my time's coming to an end in a couple, like, 4 weeks. I won't have a computer for about a month and a half, if not 2 months.
Y'all will have to just put up with me.
Yep, you'll just have to get Missy. But she has some cool stuff planned with some other people as well, so. But anyways, I'm going to, I just went through that. Yeah, I'm moving overseas, well, back to the United States from overseas, so. But yeah, so once I'm back, then I'm back. That'll be nice. Then I'll be off for a good while, but we gotta buy everything new. We have no furniture at all, like nothing. I mean, plates, utensils, cups, rags. I mean, you think about it, that's in your household, we gotta buy it. So, yeah, so that's gonna be fun shopping sprees. But that's what you get Target for, right? But yeah, went through that too. Yeah. Oh, it's cool. It's like a fresh start, right? It's a new character, you know, for example. I only moved 10 minutes away. Yeah. I get that. Well, I've never been divorced, you know. Should never get divorced, but yeah, knock on wood. I guess technically I was divorced in 14 because me and Missy had to split, so yeah.
But then we got remarried.
Yeah, different character. I got an upgrade, so. Right. But anyways, Phoenix, yeah, thanks for joining in tonight. Like I said, this was kind of just I want to play and why not stream. So, but yeah, we'll definitely keep our eye on Ashes, and in 3 years, who knows where we will all be at that time, anyways, in our lives when it comes out. Once we have a release date, I think that's when we can say, okay, here we go, let's get excited.
Be at a nursing home.
But until then, right. But all right, Phoenix. Well, you have a good night. And unless Misty starts streaming at some point later on, then I will catch you probably tomorrow or so, or Sunday. So, yeah, it's 2:22 in the morning here. But yeah, so good night / morning. But anyways, so take it easy, man, and you have a good one.